Well,
But
collectively,
yeah.
where we're stuck is that we have a huge society and culture full of people in adult bodies that are actually operating in the at the psychic level of a child.
Okay.
Because we have been conditioned for a good 2,000 years to defer to authority, whether it be religious authority, the priest, to Jesus, to the doctor, to the school teacher, to the boss, to the person in the military with more rank than you. Your father is sort of the king of the household. Your mother's the queen of the household. If you even look at the history of chairs, you walk into a boardroom, what do you see at the end of each side of the table? A big chair. And what's along it? Little chairs. Why? Because that came from the Egyptian dynasty. The emperor and his wife, the empress, sat in the largest chairs. They were the first ones. They invented the chair, and everybody else that was subordinate sat on small chairs. And you go into houses all over the world and you'll see the same thing. So we actually have been conditioned not only through religion and through military structures and through plantation owners, which is where slavery, was, that we need to follow everybody else's dictates. And anybody that has more knowledge or is a scientist or a bigger degree than us becomes a parent figure. And so we've got a whole population worldwide of people now that can't think for themselves. They go to school and they're taught what to think, but they're never taught how to think. My system teaches you how to think for yourself. So you make your own decisions, which means you're an adult. So ultimately what we have is a bunch of people that are highly programmed by corporations to use video games when they should be working, to eat junk food even when it's making them fat and making them sick. But because it's all backed by science, they just believe it even though the evidence is completely contradictory to it. What does that mean? It means you have children deferring their power of creativity to an external authority figure that's only real because they've believed it's real. And until you actually become a warrior to stand up for your own values and your own beliefs, whether your parents agree with it or not, or society agrees with it or not, which is Joseph Campbell's hero's journey, then you're always going to be a victim to the programmers. And now programming is so elaborate and so evolved that your iPhone is a very powerful programming tool. And people don't realize, even though they outlawed subliminal programming on television many years ago, light has an infinite capacity to carry information, and they're brainwashing you constantly through the use of photographic images, through video technology and image technology. And they've got you hook, line, and sinker, and they're using artificial technology to track every of your tendencies and bait you constantly. And for example, if you read the book Hooked by Nir Eyal, it's completely demonstrated in there exactly how they do it, and I interviewed him on that topic.
Yep.
But until we actually learn to grow out of childhood into our warrior archetype and stand up for what we believe and get clear on what values are supportive of living the life we want to live, and what are the activities, goals, dreams, or objectives that we want to achieve for ourselves, and make that decision and take responsibility for saying no to the habits that we have and yes to acquiring the new skills, only then do we begin to be an adult. And if we're not an adult, then we're always in a subversive position or a submissive position.
Like the have to.
I have to, or it's not my fault, or someone else made me do it, or if I don't do it, I'll burn in hell, or my mom and dad will be upset at me, or the people in church will be upset at me because I am interested in Buddhism, so I have to keep that secret. That's all the position of a child. And an adult says, I choose to do, not I have to do.